Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What's that?
We're talking about we didn't want to.
Mention
Mention the name, the people tried to.
We mentioned Robert Coe.
Which one?
Robert Coe. Was brought in for deposition.
Did they sit him? Have tried to sit him? Or
We tried to take his deposition tonight.
So you need to establish him if you're going to get it from your show? One of the problems I can foresee for this one is establishing we should object to the seats that he gets to the point where we establish the orders.
Your town has to do it. Of course. With the sincerity of religious belief. I really can't get over how beautiful that view is. That's why I've been laughing. Just look here, just run your eyes around here, everything mounted with palm trees.
If you pan that thing, clear your eyes right out.
It really is a place to put a house.
What? But only one place can sustain this house. Keep it here. Look at the problems that have to be overcome. The water, everything, the rock itself.
Brother Carl, will you take some pictures of this? I'd love to have some photographs of this place. It's just so beautiful. Did you take any regular stills?
Yeah, as soon as he gets done.
Lovely. This is one of the prettiest places I've ever been in my life.
I'll get a roll of tape.
I was drafted. Instead of 5 years, yeah, in the Army, I did some cars and truly part stuff like that.
It's not a recent
That's right.
fabrication. The church has been here for many, many, many years. You were, and it.
Yeah, that's no good.
And you know Sister Jackie, she's in your thing.
We would set up 30 days at a shot, 40 days at a time. We'd come in for a month and everybody would give about 48 days or 38 days somewhere. We'd set up on a live field something. Probably matter if it's snow, rain, we were there. I was so glad to get it done. When I got out of the state trip, really enjoyed it. We stayed for meals and lunch.
What's your?
Most of the time I saw concertina. So we had good time. Everywhere we went, we were gardening.
No, mira, man. No. Is Brother Allen around? Huh?
Not right this minute, he's talking about.
What we're going to do is we're going to stipulate on the record between the state and between the city at any time we don't understand the response or something else that you can interpret. If we could, we'd like to enter into a stipulation on the record that in the event the court reporter has difficulty understanding any of the words said, that Brother Gary will act and interpret what's been said using the same words. All of the speech will, of course, be in English. Due to differences in dialect, it may be that come to time. Is this agreeable with you, Mr. Berger?
Yeah, I have no objection. If there's any problems, any problems understanding. For the record, we put down everyone who's here. So we can cover that. And we can we get through some minor things on the record in advance? First of all, I understand the purpose of this deposition is for potential use at trial,
Yes,
as well as for discovery.
Perpetuate the testimony of Mr. Wells and to perpetuate the testimony of Mr. Dickens for use in a hearing or trial.
And so it is a discovery deposition to be added, that is being taken. The intent that certain matters may be. What?
I don't too love when you say Mr. Wells.
Brother Howard,
Brother, you say Brother Wells.
Brother Wells, certainly.
So, we'll be in a discovery deposition with the intent to use it at trial.
Exactly.
And in advance, because of the time limitations, I assume the parties are going to be waiving signing of the depositions.
Yes. Yes. Brother Wells.
Yeah.
I have to affirm you. Could you please raise your right hand?
No, it's in my right hand here.
You see the
Hand to your heart.
hard side is your right side.
That's your right hand.
That is your right.
Do you solemnly affirm that?
But they say left right. When you left right, you must be wrong.
All right, you must have put me back.
Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Who's speaking?
I am the court reporter. I'm taking down everything you say on a machine. But I have to affirm that you're going to tell the truth.
And why the brother never speak first? In the court of God, you acknowledge the Bible.
Brother Wells, there's
The sister is speaking to ask the sister. Do you accept the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's so. Well, within the Bible law, it says, suffer not a man to teach, unless he teaching in children in the home. If you read the Bible diligently, you will find one word written therein.
He said that in the God's court,
God court.
a woman is not to teach nor to usurp any authority. So by the time you accept the Bible, you have to see that a woman isn't to speak in God's court. Though we know you have a duty to perform.
You see it.
We want you to know how our principles state.
You don't know. You have to do the thing, fulfill their law. When you know for God law, you're going to fulfill God law.
I tell you, it may be better than running translations when we're going along, because I'm having difficulty. I don't know if it's just the wind or it's dialect.
Brother Wells, this is Mr. Booth speaking, one of the lawyers for the church. What this young lady wants you to say is, for the record here, which will be presented to the judge later, that you affirm that what you are going to tell us today is the truth. That's all she wants.
That's not the truth. He says, speak the truth.
Right.
And speak it ever, cause it what it be. But they who hide the wrong they did will do the wrong thing still.
We speak
That found in everyone that enter this spiritual word.
we speak the truth and speak it ever, cause it what it will. For he who hides the wrong they do will do the wrong thing still. We always speak the truth, not just now. We speak the truth day and night. That's our covenant is with the truth.
Mr. Berger, is that
You stipulate that that's sufficient, Mr. Berger?
Yes, I'll stipulate that.
Thank you,
That's sufficient.
now, Brother Wells, we came down here to Jamaica to question you and Brother Dickens for use in a trial in court up in Miami, which commences next Wednesday. And there's a gentleman here present from the office of the state attorney up there who is an assistant state attorney, and he represents the other side of the law case, the state attorney and the city of Miami Beach. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't understand the questions, just let me know and I will try to rephrase them.
Yes. You would have to tell me what is the foundation of the case first. I don't know.
He wants to know the foundation of the case first.
The state attorney and the city of Miami Beach have filed a lawsuit seeking an injunction or a court order stating that Jacqueline Town should not use the premises at 43 Star Island for more than one family, that church services should not be performed there, and that marijuana should not be smoked there. They seek an order of the court stating that that shouldn't be done. None of those things should be done at that location.
Is the office said that? Said you're not sure. The church. What do you call a church? What is a church?
What is a church? When established, what is a church?
What is the church?
Well, this is a question that's going to arise in the case.
Oh, what is a church?
That's a good question. That's a good question. But that's the nature of the case, and we're here to ask you certain questions about the history of the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church and your participation in it in the past years, and your knowledge of some of the people involved in the lawsuit itself.
Let me explain for the record because of the nature of the proceedings. I'll possibly be interjecting with objections which are for the purpose of the court and not directly toward him. You can explain that to him so he can understand.
He'll understand as it progresses, I'm certain.
perhaps.
All right. Please tell us your name, your full name, Brother Wells.
Walter. Much name you want?
Your full name.
You want the full of my name?
Yes, your full name.
Walter Benjamin Wells.
And where do you live, Brother Wells?
Quick now.
St. Thomas?
St. Thomas.
Do you live where we are presently located?
Right.
And what is your age, sir?
No, my age is very optimistic. But I was to go by way my mother told me, I never get me out of my my physical father.
He said he has to go by what his mother told him, for he never got any argument from his physical father.
That's fine.
Right.
What did your mother tell you?
He tell me that my father leave me when I was 8 years old. Went away in 1914, one giant contingent.
In 1914, you were 8 years old, is that?
8 years old.
When they took his
8
father.
days old.
8 years old.
So you were then born, according to your mother, in 1914, is that correct?
He never tell me I was born 1914. He tell me my father leave me when I was 8 years old. And the register paper that they give me show 1916. So something wrong there. Very optimistic. Not my fault. Their fault. Not the Bible.
What is your position in the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church?
A spiritual leader, a servant of God.
How long have you been associated with or a member of the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church?
1953.
How did you come to become a member of the church?
I seek and I find, and someone open the door unto me. He says, seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Ask and it shall be given unto you. I do so.
Did some particular...
He sought it and he found it. For the Bible says, seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened unto you.
Ask and it will be given
and
unto
it will
you.
be given unto you. So he sought the doctrine and he found it.
Did some particular person bring you into the church, or did you come to the church and ask to become a member?
No. I seek Dr. William doctrine coming from Marcus Garvey.
He sought Lover Williams' doctrine coming from Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey.
MARCUSGARVY. V-E-Y.
Before 1953, when you first became a member of the church, were you aware of the existence of the church?
Huh?
Were you aware of the existence
I was
or the
what?
being of the church prior to 1953?
1953. The second week of June. The first week of June, I was on the same line where even yourself is now, saying, calling upon Jesus.
At one,
That's it.
in 1953, Mr. Wells said he was on the same line worshiping Jesus. The
In
false.
June.
In June of
Se-
1953.
First and second week of June. I was serving the same Jesus that you are serving now, that thanked me. Said I have to go to dead before I go to heaven. Heaven after death.
At that time, he was worshiping the same Jesus that
That
you
you are
worship,
worshiping now.
that says you must go dead before you can go to heaven.
You see it?
And then something happened.
What happened at that time that caused Brother Wells to become a member of the church? When I say church, I'm referring to
No.
Ethiopian Zion
No.
Baptist Church.
That did born in me, you know. I remember I never get this, that into no, I never been to no school.
This was born in him. He never spent one day in Babylon school.
Do you know how old the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church is in the country of Jamaica?
That from the beginning, man. That was from the beginning. But the churches of what the church? What you call a church?
I'm calling the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church is what I'm referring to.
Ah, no. I would like to find out from you now what you really accept as a church.
We would like to know what you accept as a church. But we know everyone saw the sign on the front, Church of the Living Man.
Well, let's refer to it as the faith as as it is conceived by the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church. The religious precepts that are practiced in the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church.
Now, I want to hear you personally what you accept as a church. Personal acceptance, what you accept as a church within your own self. Within.
I object for the record.
Yes.
Exchange of questions.
Yes.
That man said he objected to the question. One man said he objected to the question.
Say objected to it.
Yeah.
Can't answer it. I don't know why.
Does that mean when you object that you can't answer it?
Well, he was
What I'd like
asking me
to
a
do is,
question.
Huh?
for the record, so we can explain it.
You'd like me to explain?
I'd like you to explain to him that this is going to be used in a trial. It's not just a discussion. Therefore, people
No,
will
we're
be
you're dealing
conducting
with.
objections, and he can answer the question. In fact, I think he should answer every question that's asked of him, even if there is an objection. So, I apologize for periodically interrupting him, but that because of what the reason, the purpose we are conducting this deposition, I will occasionally have to make statements and objections. And you can answer the question anyway.
What
I
you
object
are-
this is for the record and for a court, not for here.
You have to directly accept and know what is the church, you know. And that may I try to say.
Before we can talk about the
Before we
church,
can talk about the
we
church.
have to accept what is
What is the church?
Brother Gary,
Is that the record?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Someone
Well,
is
I
talking to
got,
you.
is that me I go show him?
Right.
Yes, and that me I go show him.
So the argument can go on.
For the record, can we find out who was talking and what he was telling?
Yes.
We're going to give you our attitude and
Excuse me.
conception of the
Right.
church. We're going to give you our attitude and conception of the church.
Brother Gary,
Yes.
would you identify yourself, sir, so that we'll know who was speaking with Brother Wells?
And Victor Wadley,
Would you spell your name, please?
VICTOR,
Victor,
WHITELY.
Victor Whiteley.
Whiteley.
Thank you very much.
Victor Whiteley.
Now, Mr. Berger, who represents the state of Florida in this case, would like you to tell us what was the nature of your discussion with Brother Wells.
Right. I was explaining to him that for the procedure of the court, he could not ask the lawyer what was his belief in what was a church. He would have to state what was his belief
Right.
in the church. So, because I realized I didn't really understand the question, I wanted
Right.
to explain to him
All
the
right.
answer.
Let's proceed now. Brother Wells, I'm referring to the Church of the Living Man. Is that a familiar expression to you?
Huh? The Church of the Living Man?
Is that a familiar expression to you?
To me?
Yes.
No. In Peter, I come into you now. In Peter, I have built my church. In Peter, Peter is a man.
In Peter I have built my church. Peter is a man,
And the gate of hell cannot prevail against it.
and the gates of hell cannot prevail against it.
Based on
Based on the Bible.
Bible.
based on the statement now, I object to prior answers directed toward the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church, seeing as we're apparently discussing a different church.
The foundation.
From his statement,
We're not discussing a different church.
You should have
Well, that's conclusive.
that to every word that we talk, you can have a look at it and see that it is so.
It also strikes on the prior answers based on
To go to court.
those questions and answers directed toward the Ethiopian Zion
Oh.
Coptic Church.
Brother Wells, on what precepts is the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church founded? What are the basic beliefs of the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church?
Well, I object to that question because he's already testified that he's not talking about the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church.
No, that we are.
Yeah,
Yes, we are. When we say
that's
Peter
what we're
is
talking
the
about.
foundation of our church, we're not
Our
talking
church.
about another church. We're talking about this church.
This church.
Upon this church,
And this church
this
is,
church,
The Ethiopians are Coptic Church.
I'd like him to testify to that. This church is called what?
Called what? The Zion, Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church.
Now, what are the
Church of the Living God.
Church of the Living God?
The church in the wild wood.
What are the basic beliefs of your church, Brother Wells?
This is believe. We know. This is not believe. This we know. See and know that this church is Church of the Living God.
we do not believe, for believe is to unbelieve.
See,
We see and know
know.
that this is the church of the living God.
I object to the use of the word we there.
No, he used we.
He.
He was
said the
just
word
saying
we.
exactly the same thing.
I just repeated
Yeah,
the
I
same
know, I'm
word.
objecting to the use of the word we.
By the witness.
By the witness, yeah. That's my,
He means the church, we of the church.
We are the Church of the Living God. You can be you too, you know.
You stated the objection.
constant inserting answers,
Go ahead.
interpreting for the witness.
What is the place in the church of
I'll
what you,
object to, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, start.
what is the place in the church of what is called ganja?
Ganja.
Yes, sir.
What part does ganja have in our church?
What part?
Does ganja play in our church?
Now, our sacrament.
It's our sacrament.
Now, since you have been a member of the church since 1953, has ganja during that entire period from then till now been the sacrament of the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church?
Not from before,
From before,
from the foundation.
from the foundation.
From the foundation of the Ethiopian Zion Coptic
Yeah.
Church? How far back does that go?
Now, then say, is two weed,
Could you
a female, a male and a female. ganja.
They say the weed is male and female.
So they say,
So them say.
and we see so also.
And we say so also.
So I'd like to hear the name from you.
Well, interjections, and the facts not in evidence, we don't know who we is.
All right, could you translate what you said?
Huh?
Brother Gary, would you tell us?
Mr. Wells is establishing, for you asked about ganja, he's establishing that ganja is male and female.
Right. They say so.
They say so, and we say so.
My question was, for what period of time, how far back has ganja been the sacrament of the church?
How long have we been using ganja in the sacrament of our church?
Ancient of days.
From the Ancient of Days.
Ah.
I object to that on lack of personal knowledge.
Man,
Answer.
So you object it?
By the statement, he obviously could not never.
Say
Prior
no, no.
testimony being born in 19.
Let Sal explain.
He'd rather he would say, give a date.
Brother
He
Wells,
doesn't accept that answer.
Brother Wells,
Then,
how,
you know, I understand the answer.
Say, they say no, accept it. Because
Why you don't accept it? You don't accept the Bible.
Brother Wells, how do you know, or from what source do you know, that ganja has been the sacrament of the church since ancient days?
Once upon a time, I see they give the nation wine, bread and wine in day church synagogue. Up to now, you know of that?
You want me to wait with the question and answer and then make an objection as to both of them in? Would that, we can agree to that?
Sure. Finish your answer, Brother Wells.
Huh?
Go ahead with your answer.
You acknowledge that is bread and wine they give out there?
I want to know if you acknowledge that that's bread and wine they give out there in their church.
In their church.
You mean in other churches?
Other
Other
churches.
churches outside of this one.
All right, now, my question was, how do you know how far back the use of ganja as the holy sacrament goes in the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church? Who taught you that?
Huh?
Well, I'm checking.
The Bible doctrine.
Would you repeat what
It's a Bible doctrine. The Bible shows us from anciency.
The sacrifice of the Lord is made by fire.
The sacrifice of the Lord is made by fire.
Well, I'd object
That's a
to that.
historical fact.
Yeah, I'd object to the other individual testifying for a witness.
Just repeat what he
Statements are not-
says.
Yeah, you can't.
Don't
you can only
enlarge on
repeat what
it.
he says, interpret one. You know, in the sense of providing a different answer. than what
When
the
say you
statement.
shouldn't answer.
When you first became a member of the church, and whenever I say church from now on, I mean the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church. When you first became a member of the church, did somebody give you instruction in the history of the church and its beliefs and its precepts? Did you get instruction from any person or persons when you first became a member?
I tell you already that I seek and I find, knock and he open to me. I get it from Lover William. Lover William is from Marcus Garvey.
He said he sought it and he found it. He knocked and it was open to him. He found it in a man, Lover Williams, who comes from the man Marcus Garvey.
Is Lover Williams the one who taught him about the church?
Yes.
Before he has to be finished, since we've got an agreement. Okay. Objections, appreciate it.
All right.
When asked, object, some of it is not responsive. Other parts is assuming facts and not yet in evidence.
Did Lover Williams instruct you in the beliefs of the church and its history?
not believe to see and know that God is man,
Brother
a
Lovett,
living man.
Lovett Williams never taught him to believe. It was to see and know that God is a living man.
Did
Check that's not responsive.
Did Lover Williams teach you in the history of the church?
The history of the church.
Yes.
The history of the church is man.
Check that's not responsive.
Could you answer that specific question, please, whether Lover Williams gave you instruction or taught you of the history of the church? I need an answer to that particular question.
That's what if Lower William teach me if God is a man. That is the question.
No, the history of the church
The,
itself.
the history of the church
Yes.
is man.
Who taught you that? Did Lover Williams teach you that?
Lover William teach me that. I never know that before.
Did Lover...
I did know of an unknown God that them call upon name of Jesus, a white man on a foot with a photograph with a long beard, name of Jesus. When neither me nor my forefather know.
At one time, he knew of a strange God by the name of Jesus,
You see,
who is a picture of a white man who neither he nor his forefathers know.
Who taught you the history of the use of ganja as a sacrament in the church?
that found in me from the foundation, man. And they got some more cigarette. Who taught they?
That was found in him from the foundation. For they smoked cigarette. And who taught him that?
I've checked with that personal analogy and also responsive.
Lack of personal knowledge that others smoke cigarettes?
No, you repeat the answer to the question? Well, it doesn't matter, we'll just leave the objection as it stands for the record.
Brother Wells, could you please answer that specific question as to who taught you that ganja had been and was still the sacrament of the church from ancient days? Who is the person who taught you that?
Assumes fact not yet in evidence.
Who taught me that?
Yes, sir.
I was found that in me from before I started to smoke ganja before I found Lover William.
So he started smoke ganja before he found Lover Williams.
When you found Lover Williams was
Jeff.
a person in the church, is that right? Was he a
I was
priest?
smoking ganja before I found him.
Now, you
Jeff
found,
is not.
And not even me found him, he found me then.
what's that?
He said he never found Lover Williams found him.
When Lover Williams found you, was
Yeah.
that in 1953?
1953.
Now, what was Lover Williams' position in the church at that time?
Huh? He was the,
Objection assumes fact not yet in evidence.
He said he was one that got him in the church.
me personally, I don't know what you would say. Me, find him within myself as a spiritual leader sent from God
Mr. Wells said he found
within myself.
within himself a spiritual leader. That was found within him.
Is he saying that he found within himself that Lover Williams was a spiritual leader?
Yes.
A living, sent from God,
Son of God.
the living God.
When you first met,
Illusion.
when you first met Lover Williams, when he first found you, Was he using ganja as the sacrament of the church?
Yes, Lord.
And were there other members of the church at that same time?
Yes,
Were they using ganja as a sacrament of the church at that time?
everyone.
Has ganja been used as the sacrament of the church continuously since 1953 when you became a member?
Them use it, them no use it before me
But ever
in the
since,
church. But I use it before I come to the church, before I found the church.
He used it before he came to the church. He found them using it in the church when he came.
This time we're here to make a standing objection to relevancy until there's an attachment between any attachment shown between this church and the church that is the subject of litigation, the basis for which we're here. And if I can do that, is it okay to make a standing objection rather than to repeat it again?
yes.
And that will go towards prior testimony that was made as well as anything subsequent.
Read.
Brother Wells, are you familiar with the fact that there are laws which restrict the use of ganja, both here and in the United States?
Are you aware that there are laws
Question.
against ganja, both here and America?
Law. What? You know, I'm going to ask you something now.
Do you understand that question?
Yeah, why you use the Bible in the courthouse?
Why do you use the Bible in the courthouse?
Object to
Well, our procedure doesn't permit.
Why you
questions
object
from
that?
the witness.
Why you object that? Don't you use the Bible in the courthouse? Yes or no?
Mr. Wells, yes, we use the Bible in the courthouse, but
For what reason? I think Isaiah 42 show you a bruised wheel will not break, and a smoking flask will not quench until he execute judgment unto truth. And everyone use the Bible in the courthouse and say, speak the truth. So help me God. So they say. It is so?
Isaiah 42 says, a bruised reed will thou not break, a smoking flax will thou not quench.
The smoking
Flax.
You gotta start over slow, I can't understand.
Isaiah 42 says, a smoking flax will thou not quench, and a bruised reed will thou not break, until I execute judgment unto truth. For in every courthouse they make you swear on the Bible and say, speak the truth, so help your God.
Object is not responsive.
You object that?
that's a,
And also assuming facts.
I would like to understand. I don't understand when you say you object. So that's why I asked the question. You object that?
The only objections I'm making here, so we can clarify it for him, are for a trial court. They're not for you. They're not objections against you personally. They're not objections as to the truth or lack of belief as of what you said in terms of what you're stating. They're solely for a court. In other words, This is not a discussion.
Right, when he says
So we
he
can discuss
objects,
this with
he
you
says
later.
it's outside of the
But-
proceedings for you to ask them a question. So though it's true they say you speak, they say it's outside of their
In
proceedings.
other
That's
words,
why he said
this
it.
has nothing to do with you personally. In other words,
This is like
this
Public court.
is going to be like a court, so a judge would decide certain objections. It has nothing to, again, nothing to do with you, or my beliefs, or anyone else's here. We each have our own personal beliefs.
Truly.
But a court in the legal system we're dealing with may say that whether that is true or not, for a certain legal reason, in that court, that answer or that question can't be used for a court proceeding.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, you see. Those brethren that them said they have in court, them found them with ganja?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Those brethren, they say they found that they have in court up in America, did they say that they found them with ganja?
He's not familiar
He's
with
not
that
familiar with that
case.
case. He doesn't know that.
He's not
No,
familiar with that case.
to him bring up saying, to him say they're against the law.
Mike, let's get
Try
back
the
to my
gun,
question.
Right.
Brother Wells,
Right.
could we get back to my other question?
Come out.
Are
come
you
on.
aware of the fact that there are laws that restrict or prohibit the possession of ganja and the sale of ganja and the use of ganja? Are you aware of that?
I know that is a mystery that's framed by law.
He knows that's a mischief that's framed by law.
You
Well,
see.
then, you are aware of the fact that there are laws against ganja.
Not law, mischief. Mischief.
Mischief.
Not law,
Mischief.
mischief.
Well, I'm objection, not responsive.
We acknowledge,
All right. Now,
It's no objective.
you consider the laws against ganja to be mischief, as I understand your answer. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Objection is
mischief.
irrelevant.
For God made it for the use of man and every living thing that walk upon the face of creation.
but God made it for the use of man and every living creature that walk upon creation.
Objection, opinion, conclusion.
Now, how do you know that that is true, what you just said?
I plant ganja. I cook it as kalalu. You know kalalu?
I plant ganja, I cook it as kalaloo. Do you know kalaloo?
Would you tell us what kalaloo is?
Tell him.
Kalaloo is
Don't let him tell.
You see, you understand him, mommy, from me tell you of kalalu. Kalalu is that thing you sow the seed and you grow, and you cook it, and you eat.
you sow the seed, it's a green that you eat come out of the ground. You sow the seed, it's a green, like spinach.
Like how you eat salad.
Right.
What does that got to do with ganja?
Vegetable.
What does that got to do
He
with
said he
ganja?
cooks the ganja as you would cook kalaloo.
I see.
I say I don't smoke it alone.
I see. All right. I understand.
I eat it.
Right.
And I drink it.
I assume then that you consider ganja to be what you told us, a holy sacrament. Is that correct?
That's leading.
What is your opinion of ganja? Your personal opinion of ganja? How do you feel about ganja?
Objection irrelevant.
You ask me a question.
Yes.
How do you feel about ganja? What is your personal opinion about ganja? With respect to your religious beliefs?
Ganja. I know within my personal self that ganja is the blood and body of a living man. But when they hold the ganja, take the ganja, they hold a man.
I know within my personal self that ganja is the blood and body of a living man. For when they take the ganja in their hand, they take a man in their hand.
Objection, opinion.
How is this related to the church?
Up to now, say they are persecute the church. But they have the brother, they might try, and then do hold them with no ganja. Huh? No, sir?
Up to now, they
Yes.
persecute us for the ganja, and they never hold us with no ganja.
You see the thing? At no time. They never hold me, charge me for one seed of ganja.
Objection not responsive.
At no time did they ever hold him with not even one seed of ganja.
Me
Mr.
personally,
Wells talking.
Objection not responsive or relevant.
Do you know a person in Miami named Robert Cohen?
I will show them that.
Yes, I'm telling the question. Because he said he, yeah, he has to be knowing. Yeah.
Do you know Robert Cohen, a person named Robert Cohen who lives in Miami?
A brethren?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is Robert Cohen?
He said a brethren.
A what?
A brethren. A brother.
One of the brothers of the church.
A brother in the church, is that what you said?
Yes.
Do you know Jacqueline Town?
That's Sister J. This has to be doing Sister J.
Yeah.
Who is Jacqueline Town?
Huh?
Who is Jacqueline Town?
One of the sisters of the church.
How long have you...
Objection none. Excuse me, both answers lack of predicate.
How long has Jacqueline Town been a sister of the church?
Oh, yeah, she's coming.
To your knowledge,
I think around 71.
since 1971?
Right.
Where did you meet her?
In St. Andrews as a light. And you got Papine.
In St. Andrew, Azalite, when you go to Papine.
Where is that? Is that here in Jamaica?
That's in Jamaica.
Yeah.
How far from here?
That's 35 miles from here. 30 miles.
He asked him.
All right.
Brother Wells, how far from our present location is the place where you met Jacqueline Town?
From Papine to as a light.
To here.
2 years?
Right.
Okay. Take it, right? Something, I don't know.
Approximately will do.
About 35.
35 miles?
About.
What
More
sort
or
of,
less.
what sort of a place was it? What sort of a place was it where you met Jacqueline Town?
Just it's not no great a place of worship.
It was
Just a place, bare ground. Everybody rests on bare ground.
A place where everybody rests on bare ground.
do you say a place of worship?
Yes.
Just like you would say you went to the synagogue.
As you would say, like you go to the synagogue.
This place of worship you just described associated in any way with the Ethiopian Zion Coptic Church?
Yeah.
Is that a sort of a place where members of the church came together to worship on various occasions?
Prayer unceasing and daily voicing.
There we have prayer unceasing, and our daily vows ascend.
Is that particular location still used as a place of worship in the church?
We still use Papine as a place of worship. I don't know if we still want to use Papine as a place
That
of
we
worship.
want to use it.
We still use it.
No, not now.
What is your principal place of worship at this time for the church?
Just over there, somebody way.
Building there.
What was his answer? Just over here?
Right over there. We're just showing
You
right
mean right here on the property where we're presently located is the main? Are you speaking of this new building that's back over behind me up on the hill a little bit further?
Yeah.
Are you speaking of the church that was...
No, we worship everywhere we live, you know.
All right.
We worship everywhere we live.
Everywhere you live. The prophecy say you pray in your bathroom.
For the
Anywhere you go, you're praising God.
Brother Gary, responsive to the question.
Anywhere you go.
Are you bound duty that?
Are you getting my objections? Could you indicate?
The prophecy says that your bound duty is to pray everywhere you go.
Objection not responsive.
Where do members of your church pray, Brother Wells?
Where them pray?
Where do they pray?
You know what they
Yes, he motioned that building over there. He said, you can walk over and see the direct
You
building.
can walk over
Walk
on
over and
your
see it.
place and just look, have a look.
Have a look and see.
In
I wish you
addition to the place you just described, do members of your church pray in other locations?
Now, your brethren pray everywhere we live, you know. The
Brethren,
brethren that come to the consciousness of himself, anywhere and live and pray.
brethren pray anywhere they live. When they come to consciousness in themselves, they pray anywhere.
You're up on the sea, you pray. You're up in the air, you pray.
When you're on the sea, you pray.
You're on the earth, you pray.
You're up in the air, you pray. When you're on the earth, you pray.
Constantly trust in the Lord and pray every day.
Constantly trust in the Lord and pray every day.
Is there any particular time of the day when you customarily pray?
Oh, yes.
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 Now, at what times during the day do you pray on a regular basis?
Now, I pray morning, midday, and night. And I pray secretly within myself.
Do you also pray together with others, no matter where you might be at any particular time?
Sure.
Now, with whom?
Truly.
How is this done? Let's say you are with some of the other brothers and maybe some of the sisters and you're in somebody's home. Would you pray in that home?
Yeah. As long as him accept it. If you don't accept it, I brush the dust off my foot, but a man leave there.
As long as the man's whose house is accepted, we pray. If he doesn't accept it, we brush the dust off our feet and go where we are accepted.
And this is done on a daily basis by the members of the church, is that correct?
Truly.
Objection, leading.
Now, you previously said that you pray in the morning and at midday and at night, and then secretly with yourself at other times, is that correct?
Truly.
Now, how often do you do that? Do you do that daily? Every day you do that?
Daily we offer our humble observation. Daily it is our Savior secure. Whether from far is the heart of adoration. Dearly to God is the prayer of the poor.
Daily we offer our humble oblation. Daily we gifts to our Savior secure. Richer by far is a heart's adoration. Dearest to our God is the prayer of the poor.
What is the origin of this saying or this poem that you just recited to us?
Read the Bible. You will find all these words written there. The book is a guide for the nation.
Read the Bible. You will find every word within the Bible.
Objection. The answer is apparent. At this point, we don't know what Bible he's referring to.
What Bible are you referring to, Brother Wells?
Huh?
What Bible are you referring to?
King James, what?
King James Version?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Old and new.
this poem that was just recited for us, is that a quotation from the Bible, or was that authored by a religious scholar of some sort?
You find that one now direct in the prayer book.
In the prayer book?
The prayer book.
The prayer book of your
Yet
church?
the first prayer book is man. For me now looking at that book now. Me are looking at myself.
For the first prayer book is mine. I look into myself now. I don't look into a book.
Have you ever visited at 43 Star Island in Miami Beach, Florida, Brother Wells?
Huh? Me?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Not physically. Spiritually.
Getting back to Sister Jacqueline Town, you you say you met her in a location about 35 miles from here. And that was 1971, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Now, did she live in Jamaica for a period of time subsequent to 1971?
Huh?
Did she live here in Jamaica for a period of time subsequent or after 1971?
She never leave. She go and come.
She go and come. She never lived alone.
How many times did you encounter Jacqueline Town here in Jamaica after the first time you met her?
Oh,
How many different times did you see her down here since the first time you were here?
she go and come.
She go and come.
She go and come.
She goes and comes, is that what it said?
Objection, yeah.
Has she visited the house where we are presently located, to your knowledge?
This house now,
Yes, sir.
huh?
She,
When it open,
Yes.
the first open.
she was here at the opening, the first opening.
When
One
was,
time,
when was the first open?
around the 6th of August. One time she come to this one.
Around the 6th of August,
What year is that?
1978.
Is it, get that again, witness the year.
What year was that, Brother Wells? When this,
When this open,
yes, are you referring to when the church building was dedicated, is that, or first used?
Meeting.
this one out here, this where we is now,
Yes.
one time,
She visited out here, this place, one time.
And when was that, please? Give us the day and the year, please. Don't help us.
when she come out here,
Yes, when did she come in?
The day.
I believe you said it was the day that the,
I really never, the 6th, the 6th of August,
6th of August,
78. We hope in it. We have the hope in it.
1978, is that?
We have the hope in it.
Yes.
Yeah.